All right, I'm on hole number 6 of the Holiday Hills tournament. I'm in Monday's practice round in the rookie division. Let's go to a Golf Clash notebook and check it out. They still don't have the holes up in the tournament section, but so we're still having to track them all down. So hole number 6 is hole number 6 of Greenock Point, and this is my absolute favorite hole in the game. I'm going to, on the drive here, I'm going to use a QB, and I'm going to use a katana, and I'm going to do 10% on the wind. Now, in this tournament, they did put the trees back out here, so we're getting a shadow that comes in this area. And so the shadow kind of runs like this. And this is the side closest to the tee box. This is the side closest to the green. We want to be right along the edge here. If we're through the shadow, we actually hit too far. We want to be right along the edge of that shadow, because what it does is it gives us this nice little window going past these trees so that we can get past them without having to do a little S curve. So it's this particular course and this particular hole, landing spot is super important. You can't just pop the ball out there and be in the clear and go, hey, everything's good, because if you end up out here, you're behind the trees and you just diminished your shot. Now you're going to have a super tough shot. And while this is a low percentage hole to get an Albie on, I love this hole. I've gotten a whole bunch of Albies on this hole, and I really like how this hole plays. So we're going to come out here with and this is another one of those holes that the greenskeepers are always ticked off, because all of this stuff out here, there is no shot out here. None. This is used for receptions, weddings, spectators, people drinking beer in their four-wheel drives. The greenskeepers are always bitching that they need to get rid of that part of the course because there's nothing out there. So we're going to take as a QB and a sniper. And I'm going to take a katana. Now, if you're finding yourself a little short, you can bring a Kingmaker. The Kingmaker may help you on the second shot to get out there, but you don't. If you put yourself, this is the thing about pinpoint placement. If you put yourself in the right spot, you won't need that. A katana is more than enough to get the job done, but there's nothing wrong with using a Kingmaker on this. We're going to do 20% on the drive. Did I say 10% earlier? I meant 20%. So ideally, when I'm setting myself on here, I'm going to do a little bit of curl to bring myself back to the fairway. I want to be 2.5 rings off of the transitional surface with a 20% adjustment on the drive. So if you've got a lower developed extra mile, level 6 or lower, I'm not using all of the power on my ball, on my club with a katana. But if you feel like you're a little short with a lower developed quarterback, Kingmaker is what you use to make up the difference. All right. So you can see where my red line is down there. I'm going to do about 4. So we're up in this area right here. Let's see where I'm bleeding off to. I don't need quite all of that. Right at about 2 rings off. So I'm going to do a 3-6 pull. Hey, get over here. You're going to be one of those types of holes where we can't make good wind adjustments. I can see it right now. So we're going to do a 3-6 wind adjustment. I'm going to put on a little bit of curl to bring it back over to the fairway. Isn't it perfect? I was running out of time. Nice landing zone, nice clear. Trying to run up to that shadow. Perfect. Now I've got a nice little window here. The trees are here, and I've got a nice little window to engage that next fairway. If you overshoot that shot and you're past that shadow, you're behind the trees now, which means that you have to bring the ball to the right to get over here, and then you need to bring it in this S curve to get it back to the hole. It's very difficult. Pinpoint placement, that's what these Greenock points, this is one of the reasons I love these Greenock point holes, is because it really is all about pinpoint placement. It's not just about pounding the ball out there. And if you put too much curl, you could end up in the sand on the other side. That's sand right there. And my opponent has almost pinched themselves out, but they still have a great look at it right there. Get out into this area. I'm getting some lag here and it's irritating me. I'm going to have to get just a little teeny bit more distance on my drive. So I'm not going to take out quite all the wind. I'm only going to take out about 1/8. I'm going to leave a little bit in there. And I hit it like 70 rings great to the right. Today's goal was to figure out and it'll roll all the way down to the cup. And you'll have a nice little putt. You can do that little rough bump to get you down there. I don't like to do the rough bump. I actually like to hit and let it roll down. You'd think that when it comes down there that it's going about 1 billion miles an hour and that it's going to roll past the cup. But I swear that the greenskeepers have cut this green against the grain. So as you're rolling down the hill, it's actually slowing your ball down. You would think that it would pick up speed as it goes down the hill, but it actually doesn't. It slows down. And it not only slows down, but it slows down and it starts to pull towards the right. So I need to pick up just a little teeny bit more distance on my drive. I like that shadow that's there. In the last tournament, they took those trees out that are producing those shadows. And the trees that they put in now they seem like they're in a different spot. So I need to pick up a little bit where I'm like in the middle of that shadow instead of the edge. I like to have a marker spot out there. I need just a little teeny bit more distance, or if I continue to land in that spot, then I will have to bring out a Kingmaker. So just so that I can help out on that second shot a little bit more, so I have a little bit more distance. But it should be very easy to work out that shot so I get a little bit more. I didn't use all of the top spin on my QB on the drive, so I can add on maybe one more top spin to get me out into that zone. But I will continue to work that. That's the second time I've taken the shot today, and I ended up in exactly the same spot both times. And so my goal when I come into these tournaments is always day number 1 on these practice rounds. Today's practice is all about setting myself up for the shot to get into the cup. And so today on my notes, it's all about what driver and what ball I'm going to bring. And so I know from that spot, I've hit that spot 2 times. And based on where the shadows are right now, I need to actually be in the middle of that shadow, not on the edge. All right. Thanks for watching.